Hello and welcome back. This is video 2 of everything you need to know about getting to China, working here, living, and so forth. So this is the video 2. In the first video I discussed what you need to do if you want to come here and work, how to get a job, the application process, interviewing, everything like that, doing your visa. This is what you need to pack and what you need to bring with you. Now, some of this may sound pretty obvious, self-explanatory or whatever, but I'm just trying to be thorough to give you guys a good understanding of what you need. So, when I first got here, I had no help. I had no idea what to bring, so I brought too much of some stuff, not enough of another, or absolutely nothing of certain things. So, this should help you out. The first thing I like to say is hit the Dollar Tree in the US and visit Walmart. Okay, those two stores are cheap and you can get a lot of stuff and bulk items and stuff like that at low prices. So first thing, you need 2 suitcases. Most major airlines will allow you to have 2 checked bags up to 50 pounds each. On international flights, of course, double check this with the airline before you book your flight and everything like that. But typically it's 2, and I think it's like anywhere from $40 to $75 if you want to pack set up a 3rd bag with you. But I don't think you need that. So after that, it's pretty much a preference on what type of suitcase you want. I prefer duffel bags, the big ones. They're probably 3 feet, 4 feet wide or long, with wheels and retractable handle and stuff like that. Okay, so after you find 2 bags that work for you, you're going to need clothes. Pack enough to last you for a year or so, because you're going to wash them, you get normal wear and tear. But pack according to where you're going to live in China. If you're in the north, it might be colder. In the south is more tropical, so it's going to be hot, muggy, humid. So you got to take that into account. It's very difficult to find large clothing here that fits. I'm 6'3", 235 pounds or so. I typically wear a 2XL and a size 12 shoe from the US. I cannot find any clothes, any shoes at any stores here in my city that fit me. So I have to order online through a Chinese website to get shoes. I haven't been able to successfully order t-shirts or anything else that fit. It's just all super, super tiny. I ordered a 12XL shirt off the Taobao, the website here. It's kind of like Amazon and eBay mixed into one, and it basically was a men's medium shirt or a women's large, so it was useless. So clothes, that's your own thing. Shoes, bring two good pair of sneakers, a pair of dress shoes, maybe a pair of boots, something for hiking or whatever if you plan on going hiking and stuff like that. Maybe some sandals if you're into that, that's up to you. Next is deodorant. Alright? They do not have stick deodorant, period. At least I haven't found any. Except on Taobao. Okay? Now here's the thing, you can order it on Taobao, it's the same deodorant, Speed Stick or whatever, but it's expensive. Okay, you got to think it's $52 in the States for a stick of deodorant. It's like up to $15 per stick here. Okay, so I hit the Dollar Tree. I buy 15 or 20 sticks for $1 a piece. It lasts me a year, year and a half. I'm good to go. Okay, they do have the spray deodorant on occasion, but I generally don't like that one. I like antiperspirant, keep the perspiration down and so forth. Next is toothpaste. Yes, they have toothpaste, but the flavors are rather unusual, at least from an American point of view. Honey, gardenia, rose, flower flavored. It's terrible. I don't like it. Alright, that once again, that's a preference, and maybe I just haven't found the right one, but the ones I have found are terrible. So pack enough toothpaste to last you a year. Next one is medicine. Over-the-counter drugs, Tylenol, aspirin, NyQuil, Tums, Pepto-Bismol, allergy medicine, cold and flu, anything like that, pack up, get a year's supply. They have Chinese medicine here. They just are not into taking chemicals. It's just how it is. Now, strangely, you can get antibiotics over the counter here. You can go into any drugstore, tell them this is what you want. You can show them the Chinese word from your phone translator. Boom, $2-3. You get a box of 30 tablets. Okay, I don't know why that's easily to get, and Tylenol is more difficult, but that's just how it is. Prescriptions. You need to get your doctor to fill your prescription for the entire time you're going to be here, or if you plan on going home to visit after 6 months, but make arrangements ahead of time. Show them your contract, show them your offer letter, and say, hey, I'm going to be out of country for a year. I need to get whatever prescription filled, in advance, and get that taken care of. All right, next thing you need to pack is tampons. Okay, for the ladies, Chinese women prefer to use pads. They don't use tampons. I have heard of some women having them here, but they're hard to find and expensive. So stock up, once again, year's supply on whatever brand you need. Next is lotions and body soaps. So this is also a preference. They do have Safeguard and a couple other American brands, but not the one. I like Irish Spring. They don't have it, so that's another thing that I packed up and stock up on. Next is pretty much any little things, packets of food or candies that you like. For example, I like to cook Mexican food, and I need taco seasoning. They don't have that here. I mean, you can make your own, but it's a hassle to go get all the spices and things. So I go to the dollar store, I buy a pack of 10, throw them in my suitcase. It's not a big deal. But things like that, gravy, if you want to make mashed potatoes and gravy, you're not going to find gravy mix here. Those little things, if it's in a packet powder, throw it in, you can get that in your bag, no trouble. Next is 2 unlocked cell phones. If you have your cell phone through, let's say, Verizon or T-Mobile, and you don't get it unlocked before you get here, you put in the Chinese SIM card, it's simply just not going to work. So get 2 unlocked cell phones, and the reason is if you break one, you've got a spare. If you lose it, whatever, you just got to get a new SIM card, pop it in, you're good to go. Before you leave, load WeChat and also a VPN on that phone, and I'll talk about a VPN a little later. Okay, cash. Bring enough cash to last you until you start receiving your salary. It may be 4 to 8 weeks before you get paid, and what are you going to do in the meantime? You need money. So bring cash. I recommend $500 per month should carry you over. I mean, unless you're going out partying all the time, but I mean, that's more than enough. That's about 3,000 to 3,500 renminbi. That's, if you're spending more than that on food and incidentals, then you're doing something wrong. But so that's $1,000 you'll need, let's say, for up to 2 months. Okay, and another thing is when you interview, say, hey, I'm going to arrive on this day. When is the first day I'm getting paid? How am I getting paid? Okay, and I'll touch on this. The school should set you up with a bank account at a Chinese bank. You'll get a debit card. It's very straightforward and very simple. You go in there, they take your passport, you make a small deposit of, it can be as little as the equivalent of $5, and boom, your account's set up. And then, the school they just need a copy of your account number, and they can do like direct deposit just back in the States or other countries. Some places, like my new school, pay cash. So you got to go in on payday, you got to verify, sign it, and they actually count out the cash for you. It's a little inconvenient, but I'm not going to complain. I'm getting my pay. But it's a little difficult if you have to travel. Let's say payday is on the 15th, and the 15th, is a Saturday, and you're leaving Friday after work on your vacation. You're not going to be able to get your pay, so you have to make arrangements. So just clear that with them ahead of time. But back to the money, 500 in cash. I would get 500 converted into Chinese renminbi, and keep the other 500 in US or pounds or whatever, you know, currency is from your home country. Remember, you know, you can convert the money to Chinese currency anytime you need to, but it does take a good amount of time, and you need your passport when you go to Chinese banks to get things done. Okay, still on the subject of money, let's move on to credit cards. If you're living in the larger cities, Beijing, Shanghai, and so forth, you will have you know, greater options when it comes to paying how you want to pay. Okay, most places will accept cash, a UnionPay bank card, or WeChat. That's basically like Apple Pay. They will not accept a Visa, they will not accept MasterCard, they will not accept American Express, which I learned the hard way. I have American Express and it's useless. Okay? It can be used here, but companies don't accept it. It's just, you know, how they do business. So call your bank, say, hey, I'm going to China, I need my Visa, you know, make sure it doesn't get locked down, because what will happen is they think somebody's stolen your account and they're traveling, and they'll lock up your account and you can't access your credit card or your bank card. So clear that up with your bank and make sure that that's done. Okay? Okay. So you need a laptop. You're going to be a teacher. You need to research. You need to create lessons, prepare, you know, tests or whatever. You need a laptop. Load it up with any software that you need. The most important software you need, excuse me, is a VPN. VPN is a virtual private network. It's a program you load that circumvents the Great Firewall of China. It basically allows you to access restricted websites. It makes your computer believe that it's in another country, like I connect to Los Angeles through my VPN while I'm in China, and then I can access Facebook, Google, Twitter, whatever you need, YouTube. You got to remember, 70% of the internet is blocked in China. You cannot access it unless you have a VPN. It's very important, and I cannot stress this enough. Get the VPN loaded, working, tested, use it several times before you leave your home. Don't wait to get to China to load it. It's a little bit of a hassle. Just get it loaded, get it working. Especially if you use Gmail and Google a lot. If you use Gmail, you cannot access it unless you have a VPN on your phone or iPad or laptop or whatever it is you're using to connect to the web. Okay? I will include a link to the ExpressVPN. If you sign up through there, you will get a free month. So I'm saving you about, you know, 10 or 12 bucks, depending on how long you sign up. That's what the monthly rate is. Okay, so after you get the computer and your VPN set up, you need to buy power adapters and converters. Basically just a little plug your laptop in, you plug it into the wall for power, and it doesn't blow up your machine. Get a couple of those so you can charge your phone, your iPad, whatever it is you need. Alright, after that, I highly recommend getting all your documents in order. Passport, diploma, the original university, college diploma, you need to bring that with you. Any copies and health reports and your criminal background check and ID cards and everything, have that all. Just get a folder, a sealable wrapped folder, you know, one you can, with the twine or string or whatever, pack everything in there, put it in your backpack, and that's on your carry-on with your laptop, and you bring it on the plane. Okay? Also make physical color copies, print out copies of all those documents, and have that as well in your folder. You lose it, you've got it, it's an easy thing. The schools are going to say, hey, get me a copy of your passport like 100 times. So boom, you have a color copy, you can just hand it to them. You don't have to give them your passport every time. Also, get a USB, maybe two. Attach one, keep it in your bag, keep one on your car, you know, your key ring, and put copies of all those documents on those USB drives as well. And either use the cloud, and remember, if you use the Google Cloud, have the VPN. If you don't have the VPN and you put everything on your Google Cloud account, you're not going to be able to access it. So remember the VPN. Or email everything to yourself so you have an electronic copy in case you lose your originals and your hard copies. You know, you've got a backup for that. So just make sure you got all your documents. Okay, a couple tips Let's say you got everything packed, you've done your shopping, you're ready to go. Boom, you go to the airport and they say, oh, you have a connecting flight. You're going, let's hypothetically say you're flying from Washington, D.C. You're going to have a layover in Detroit. You're going to go to Beijing, and then you're going to go from Beijing to Chengdu, let's say. Okay, so you got a connecting flight, Beijing to Chengdu within China. Your bags will not be checked all the way through your final destination. When you get to Beijing, get off the plane, you claim your baggage, you got to go back through security, back through the airport check-in, show them your ticket, and just like you're going to the airport again, okay? No matter what, you got to do this. Every single time, Delta, American Airlines, United, whatever I've flown going back and forth, they always say, oh, it'll be in your home city. You don't have to check it when you get to the, your connecting flight. And I always tell them that's not true, and they assure me, and every time I get to China, I got to check my bags, take them off, recheck them. So that's just one little thing to keep in mind. Next little tip is learn to speak a little Mandarin Chinese. Okay? Maybe 5 to 10 words and phrases. Ni hao, xie xie, whatever. It will help you. Okay? Also, just get into the habit of learning it, because you're going to want to learn it here. It's not necessary to teach, but to live. If you plan on living here and you want to go out and go shopping, learn the numbers, learn the hand signal, or the hand numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or this is 10. Okay, so those are just little things. So what will happen is you say, oh, I want 6 of that or this or whatever it is. They know this is 6. They know this is 8. Okay? There's websites on YouTube that'll help you learn those little things. I mean, if you put in learn Chinese numbers or greetings, you'll get a million hits. Okay, speaking of YouTube, since you're on my channel, I recommend going to 3 other channels, and I will put the links down below. Okay, one is a South African expat who's lived in China for more than 12 years. One is an American, actually, and the other 2 are Americans. The first 2, the South African and the first American, they do videos together and separately. I extremely highly recommend that you watch all their videos. They will talk about traveling here, visas, working, problems, culture, food, dating, marriage, divorce, lawsuits, problems with anything you can imagine they cover. Okay? They're very helpful. They're very nice guys. I've messaged them on YouTube, and they've sent me messages back, just little questions here and there. They're very nice. They're very helpful. Once again, you can contact them if you have questions. You can contact me anytime. Remember, there's a time difference. If you're in the U.S. or another country, take note of the time. It may take a day or 2 for me to get back, depending on how busy I am. I am a full-time teacher here, but I also do consulting and other, things like this as well, recruiting. So watch their videos, watch my videos, and you should be good to go to at least get an idea of what's going on here. Okay? You're going to be surprised, you're going to be shocked, you're going to be, there's going to be a little bit of culture shock, but it won't be as bad if you watch all these videos of mine and theirs. Okay? Let's see, number 4, open your mind. This is very important. I can't stress it enough. If you expect, or if you say things like, why can't they do this, or why do they, this is stupid, I don't like this, don't come here. Okay? Now, I'm not saying I don't get frustrated and I don't go, oh gosh, that's crazy, because all the time. But you need to open your mind, and frustration is basically going to be your friend. It's just a normal thing that happens here. Things that you take for granted that are simple. For example, the first 6 months I was here, I'm like, oh, I'm hungry. I got to go walk 1 or 2 kilometers to the noodle stand or this restaurant or that restaurant. Whereas in the States, I hop on my car, boom, or I deliver. I call and get something delivered to the house. Until I learned how to do the delivery thing, I had to go out and get it. And sometimes you're like, oh, I'm too lazy to walk 1 or 2 kilometers there, 1 or 2 kilometers back. That's a mile, 2 miles. You want to walk that to eat every single time. These are just little things, inconveniences that you take for granted when you're back home. So just stay calm. Don't whine and complain. Just deal with it. Okay? It's just how it is here. If that's something that's going to bother you, I highly just recommend staying home. Don't come here. Okay? Now, when it also coming to adjusting certain things of your life, be ready to adjust your diet. Okay? Now, I know in Europe and Australia and South Africa, they eat differently than America, so this is primarily, I'm going to focus on American, but it still applies to the other places. As an American, I know that the majority of the meals are focused around meat. Beef, chicken, pork, whatever. Okay? That's not how it works here. The focus is rice, noodles, and vegetables, with the meat as kind of like a side. Imagine you're going to get a big steak dinner. You've got your steak, your potatoes, and a salad. And the croutons on the salad would equal the meat here. Okay? It's just a little garnish of something. I mean, not saying that there's not times when you'll get a lot of meat, like the barbecue where I live, you get big things of lamb or beef or chicken, but meat is not the focus of their meals. Now this causes some problems. It did for me. Adjusting to the diet is difficult for the first month or 2. You're always hungry because the food they eat has low caloric, count. It doesn't have a lot of calories. We're used to eating a lot of fat, a lot of sugars. It sustains you longer. When you eat vegetables and rice, you eat more often. And Chinese eat all the time. Okay? Non-stop. So, be ready for that. Next thing is, if you're somebody that wants to eat burgers and pizza and hot dogs or whatever type of, food from back home, don't come here. Please. It drives me crazy. I worked with somebody who eats pizza and burgers every day and refuses because he says, oh, it's too spicy, or oh, I don't like this, or oh, I don't like this. Okay? Yes, they have McDonald's, Burger King. My city doesn't have McDonald's. They've got a couple Burger Kings, KFCs, Pizza Huts. Okay? And I'll have a burger maybe once a month at Burger King here. Okay? Just, you want something from home, familiar, no problem. But if you eat it all the time and you don't want to try the food, I say don't even bother coming here. Just stay home. Okay? The local food is much cheaper, healthier, and better for you overall, and it tastes better. Okay? You can go to Burger King and spend $8 to $12 for a burger, fries, and a Coke, or you can go and get dumplings and tea for $1.50, and it fills you. It's the same amount of food for 10%. Okay? You're here to experience China. Eat Chinese food. Don't eat American food. Stay home if you want to eat American food. And I'll talk about pizza. Okay? Pizza in China is terrible, atrocious. It's the worst. The cheese isn't right. The sauce isn't right. The dough isn't right. It's awful. Now, I've eaten some of the best food of my life in China. Vegetables, meats, all sorts of things. 2 things that I never thought, or I didn't even know about: lotus roots. Lotus roots is a vegetable that's similar to bamboo shoots, but it's the root of the lotus flower. They cut it up, they stir fry it. It's excellent, crunchy, really good. Fried eggplant. It's breaded, deep fried. They put it over a sauce. It's kind of like an orange chicken sauce that they put over it. Fantastic. I never thought in a million years I would eat that. And if I was one of these people that ate burgers and fries and macaroni and cheese all the time, I never would have experienced it. I would never have known. So these are things that, get here. If you're here, eat the food, experience it, be smart about it, okay? Don't keep your mind closed, and don't keep your stomach closed. Don't just eat a few things. Try it all. Some of the food is terrible. By my taste, some of the food is fantastic, but you don't know until you try it. Okay? Next thing is the air pollution. This is a serious problem in most of China. I'm lucky. Where I live, it's very low. There are some days where it gets real, smoggy and thick air, and it burns your nostrils a little bit. In Beijing, Shanghai, it's very, very bad. Sometimes you can't see you put your hand in front of your face, you can't see your hand. And I'm not exaggerating at all. The majority of people there will wear masks with filters and all sorts of things like that. That's something you got to keep in consideration. Okay, it does cause some burning in your chest and your throat. Sometimes you get used to it after a while, but that's something you got to keep in mind. Water. You cannot drink tap water in China. Period. It will get you very sick. It may even kill you. Okay. The water in the sinks is used for washing and taking a shower. That's really it. Washing clothes and showering. Don't drink it. I brush my teeth with it. I've never had a problem. I've never been sick. But that's the extent of the use of the water. Okay. Don't even boil it and drink it. Get bottled water. In fact, I would insist that you drink only bottled water. So they have water delivery services. I just had water earlier today delivered, a 5-gallon, big jug for $1.50. Okay, it's very convenient. They set you up with a little pump thing. If you can cook, keep it in the kitchen, cook with it, drink it, whatever you want to do, or get a water cooler. They're pretty cheap for, I think, $20. You get the water cooler and you can plug it in. And it gives you hot and cold water, and the jug's on top or whatever. But it's very simple. But don't drink the water. Definitely don't drink the water. Okay, that's it for this video. I hope this was helpful, and if you guys have any questions, please feel free to message me anytime. Put some comments in, whatever you need to do. Remember, my email is chinaconsulting@mail.com, and I am available pretty much all the time. Right now it's 1:20 a.m. on a Sunday night in China, so May 7th, 2018. So I'll probably get this video up in the next couple days. I'm trying to do 3 to 5 videos before I actually start posting them to YouTube. So this is the second video, and I will do the next one shortly. So I hope to hear from you guys soon, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you.